Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We bring you stories of faith, love, and devotion. Yeah, just kidding, please help us grow by hitting that like button. Now on to the story. My wife went out last night, and didn't come home until this morning. This is horrible, I'm furious right now. But I'm also depressed as hell. I know what I have to do, it's just killing me that I have to do it. It's fresh, and it hurts a lot. My wife didn't come home last night. She went out with a couple of girlfriends, which is pretty normal for her. She's normally back around 2 AM on these nights, so I waited up. Around 2:30, I called to check in. She answered, and I could hear people in the background. She told me they went to a party but were leaving in a couple of minutes. She wasn't home by 3, so I texted. It delivered, but no reply. Around 4 AM I called again, it rang a couple of times before she sent me to voicemail. My wife finally came stumbling through the door at 6:47 AM this morning. I know the exact time because I was worried. She was wearing a dress she didn't leave the house in, with mesh leggings I've never seen either. The leggings had clearly been torn, and her makeup was smudged. My heart sank when I saw her. My immediate worry was that she had been assaulted. She only shook her head no when I asked her that. I asked her what she had been doing then. She only said that I knew what she had been doing, and that kind of confirmed what the voice in the back of my head had been screaming since she walked in. My wife cheated on me last night. I asked her who it was. She shrugged almost casually and said it was somebody they met at the club. She went back to his house and hooked up with him, then Ubered home. She then said she didn't want to fight and just wanted to sleep. So that's what she did. She's still asleep now, and didn't even take a shower before passing out. Suffice to say our relationship is over. We don't have any kids, and we rent, so it shouldn't be an extremely complicated process. I keep trying to reason myself out of it, pretending there might be something to salvage here. I've always maintained that cheating would be a red line for me though. I think I need to stick to that now. Update, I posted a small update, I'll post something bigger later when I have time. True update coming later, but for now. Alright, things have happened. I am no longer at home, I left. I wasn't able to get the day off work today though, so I'm writing this on my lunch now. It's been a struggle keeping myself together today, honestly. I've had to sneak off to the bathroom twice to cry, shit's rough dude. I'll post something more detailed later on because holy ducking shit there's a lot. I'm exhausted. I've only slept about 4 hours total since this all happened. Does anyone know if I should post the actual update in a new thread, or just update the one I already made? It's gonna be a lot of text, probably longer than the first one by a bit. Also, to the woman who felt compelled to send me a topless picture. Thanks, but also no thanks. My heart just isn't in that sort of thing right now. Update, my wife went out last night, and didn't come home until this morning. Original post here. Me again, folks. I'm sorry I didn't get around to this sooner. I wasn't able to get the day off work yesterday because my boss kind of sucks. I was a complete mess at work yesterday though, so I was allowed to take the rest of the week as vacation, thankfully. I think I went through all of the stages of grief while my soon-to-be ex was sleeping. I wasn't expecting my post to get any attention at all. I just figured I needed to try to talk to someone about it, because I was not in a good headspace. I made the post in the morning, and by noon she was still conked out in the bedroom. I had processed things a bit more, and I had a rough plan in my head that I was starting to set in motion. I made a short list of questions I wanted answers to, gathered up all my important documents, laptop, etc. Then I went into the bedroom and started packing myself a suitcase. I know a lot of folks wanted me to kick her out. I did consider it, but honestly I'm not overly attached to this place. We just rent, and I'm in a lucky enough situation to be able to say that paying half the rent for a few months isn't going to financially end me. It'll sting a little bit, I won't lie. But I'll make it, and I feel like being around this place is only going to remind me of her anyway. I need to be looking forward, not back. She ended up waking up about halfway through me packing my suitcase. There was momentary confusion as she looked around the room, then she just started bawling. Maybe this is awful of me, but I didn't bother comforting her. I told her I had the screenshots of her Uber and text messages from her phone, and that plus her confirmation was enough that things between us were completely done. She didn't answer me, and just cried louder. I debated trying to continue the conversation, but I decided to just pack the rest of my suitcase and head back out to the living room until she came out. When she finally left the bedroom, she sat next to me on the couch and asked me if we could talk things through. I told her as calmly as possible that wasn't how things were going to work. I was going to ask questions, I wanted honest answers. She told me she'd be honest, so I proceeded. My voice was shaking the entire time, it was taking me everything to hold it together, but I kept going. Was this the first time she had cheated? She started crying before she answered that, then told me no. She had cheated on me multiple times over the course of our relationship. It was, and I'm going to use her words exactly here, just sex, a way for me to let off steam. None of it ever meant anything. I wrote a comment shortly after making my post that all the love couldn't just fade away in one swoop. Well, it can. It hit me right then that I wasn't dealing with my wife. The person I was married to literally wasn't in the room. This was someone different. She refused to tell me exactly how many times she had cheated, just more than last night. Had she used protection? No hesitation from her before she nodded her head emphatically. She seemed surprised I'd even ask that. I'm still going to get tested just to be safe. I did some research into timing and I'm going to look after it. Were her friends also cheating on their spouses? Yes, and no. I tried to get her to tell me which of her friends were cheating so I could get in contact with their spouses. She probably should have, because her refusal led to me messaging pretty much the romantic partner of every one of her girlfriends I could find on social media. There are a couple I don't know or couldn't find, but I did my part. Why did she do it? This was the answer that gutted me the most. I'm going to use her exact words again. I need to have sexual variety. I told her that it's not like our sex life is dull. She clarified. It's not the same as something new. I didn't even have a response to that one. I had expected something about me working too much, or not supporting her emotionally. Nope. She just ducked other guys because she felt like it, and wanted to have some fun. When I didn't respond, she started asking me about counseling and therapy. I reiterated that our relationship was over. I'd be leaving. What she did next disgusted me. My ex actually tried to have sex with me. She put her hands on me, and started trying to take off my clothes. I felt like I wanted to vomit, and pushed her away after a couple of seconds. She just kept telling me that she would figure out a way to fix it, that we would work through it together. I told her that there was no way, and she started bawling again. She went to the bathroom and locked herself inside. I was just sick of everything at that point. I called her mother, and told her what was going on. The full story too, the cheating, the questions I had asked, and the fact I was leaving. I've always had a good relationship with my ex's parents. They both decided to drive to town, which is about an hour for them. Once I knew someone was on the way, I just grabbed my things and left. Her waterworks in the bathroom were just annoying me because it felt hollow to me, especially given the answers to my questions. I ended up packing another bag before I left, and took all the things that I could think of that I felt sentimental attachment to, with me. I found a parking lot and sat in my car until I was able to get in contact with a buddy for a place to crash. I tried to take a nap, but I was running on way too much adrenaline. I knew when her parents had made it to the apartment because she started calling me. When I didn't answer those, she started texting me. She had gone from sad and crying to furious. Apparently I'm a ducking piece of shit for telling her mom everything. Whoops. I'm not sorry. I've received roughly 100 texts from her since leaving. They range from name calling all the way to begging me to come back, to sending me pictures of the food she ate for some reason. I haven't responded to any of them. I feel like I said my piece before leaving. So that's where I'm at now. We didn't have joint finances, so that part was easy. I cancelled all the subscriptions that go to my credit card just to be sure, and changed all my important passwords. I'm crashing on a friend's couch for the next bit, but I've got some feelers out to some short-term rental places until I can find something more permanent. I've got feelers out for a divorce attorney too. A co-worker of mine had a recommendation, so barring something better I'll probably go with them. I also wanted to say that I was shocked how supportive everyone was, and thank you for that. Truly, from the bottom of my heart. It isn't easy for me to talk about emotional things with people close to me. This was an invaluable venting place for me. Thank you all so much. TLDR, this wasn't the first time she had cheated on me. I packed up my things and left, and I think I'm on track to being in a better place. Working on initiating divorce proceedings now. Glad you had the strength to get out of there and not put yourself through more of your ex's bullshit. I find it funny that she started crying now. Seems like a complete flip from how heartless and cold she was to you when she first came home. Good riddance, and good luck to your future op. I honestly don't know if she was crying because I was leaving, or just because she was caught and the little universe she had built for herself was crumbling. I'd like to think she cared I was leaving on some level, but her response to the whole thing does make me question. I'm looking into therapy, but as weird as it sounds, I want the anger to fuel me a little longer. Just be careful not to dwell on the anger for too long. Right now it's good motivation to make you stand up for yourself, but it can spill over to other unintended things. Good for you for sticking to your boundaries. And for making sure she wasn't alone. It was the right thing to do. Absolutely. I don't want to turn into a bitter person, but I'm a little bit worried I'll lose my nerve too. Being angry is a good thing. It gives you the energy to get your life in order. May I recommend taking a martial arts class? It's a really good way to let off steam, and exercise in general after a breakup like this will be beneficial for your health and well-being. Plus you get the upside of her seeing you all toned and winning at life when you accidentally bump into her 6 months from now. I've found it also helps picturing your ex's face on the mitts. When the dust has settled a bit, welcome your grief too. It will take a while to get over it, but remember to keep your heart open and don't forget the second arrow parable. Best of luck to you. I have a feeling you have a bright future ahead. That's actually a good idea. I already get to the gym a few times a week. It'll be good to learn a new skill too. If you can, try finding a small martial arts studio. I've found some really good mates that way, and it usually scares away the insecure guys needing to prove they can fight. Plus training is pure joy when you can have a good laugh during it. My husband cheated. I let that anger roll me right into a hot, toned body and the self-confidence he never had. Truly, nothing better than an angry glow up. He never noticed me, but now everybody does. The two thought they were in control of the situation, until I showed up and took control. Watching them figure out that I'd outsmarted them, and they were caught, and I don't quietly keep secrets, was a masterpiece. Hopefully you get to this side of things. Sending hugs. Good job venting, you need to. As in told my cheating spouse, nobody ducks with me for free. Good for you. Sounds like you're in a much better place now. And yeah, venting here really has been helpful. There's really nowhere else I could find so many perspectives this quickly. Thanks for your support. My ex also tried to have sex with me when he told me he cheated. He was literally biting my neck whilst I cried on the bed. These people aren't normal. I genuinely think he was sociopathic, and I think yours is too. It's sickening, but a good final nail in the coffin to really kill those feelings. It was her nails on my chest when she tried to take my shirt off that got me. Still makes me cringe thinking about it. I hope you're doing a lot better now. None of it ever meant anything. That line that so many cheaters use perfectly illustrates how selfish these people are. I read several cheaters posting online using that same excuse. I don't know, maybe there is some truth to it. Maybe at the moment, they aren't thinking about their spouse. It still doesn't change the decisions they make to continually mislead, but maybe it's not an outright lie. I got so angry reading this, good lord. She is callous in every way, every word she spoke was hollow bullshit, and you recognizing that is good. All my best to you. Truly an awful woman. Did she give you a reason for why she didn't try to hide it this time? Just morbid curiosity. That was part of the why did you cheat discussion. No, I didn't get an answer from her. When I asked about the change of clothes, she claimed that she borrowed them from a friend who wanted to match with her. I asked why pick now to stop hiding it. The only reply she gave was that she got caught up in things that night. I know there's more to it that she's not telling me, I just don't care to go digging for it right now. I'm sorry to bring this up, but I think you also need to be thinking about your friends. The fact that she was willing to openly admit her infidelity, and that it had happened before, and that she had hooked up with some random guy, but then got very evasive about the past. There's a non-trivial chance that she slept with either one of your mutual friends or, worse, one of your friends. You probably won't be able to figure out who, or maybe you will, but once she realizes she's not going to get you back, I guarantee you that she will happily pull the pin on that grenade to, in her mind, get back at you for not taking her back. I hadn't even considered this until now. Shit, man. That's going to leave me wondering forever. It's the sort of thing I'm not sure I'll ever be able to get an answer to. You're still going to pay the rent? WTF. Ultimately my plan is to fulfill whatever financial obligation the lawyer I'm hiring tells me I have to. In the immediate future, I plan to pay my half of the November rent while I sort things out with her and our landlord. Did you receive a response from any of the other partners you notified? Some yes, some no. I've got the proof of my ex to share with them if it's asked for. I know how they follow up isn't my business, but I do hope that they take it seriously. Block her on your phone. Or silence her text and calls on her phone. You won't be bothered with the notifications all the time, but you will have any extra evidence she sends. Thumbs up. Yeah, silencing her notifications is probably way better than blocking. Lol. Oh yeah, that was done after she sent me the picture of her dinner Sunday night. I have her completely muted as a contact in my phone. We hope that by sharing these stories with interested folks like you, we can help people recognize the signs of a relationship in trouble, and avoid so many of these heartbreaking situations yourselves. Have a good day or night, wherever you are.